Hello, guys. Welcome to
Real Talk
with Zuri
and Willow.
Okay, so Willow, how have you been?
Good. How about you?
I've been good. Oh my God, did you hear about the president's health lately?
Oh my God, yes, it's crazy. It low-key reminded me of that one president who has some disease and his wife ran the country.
Stop. I know who, but yes. Loki, do you want to talk about it?
Yes.
Okay, bet. Okay, you know what? Let's start with our main character, Edith Wilson. Okay, Edith Wilson was born on October 15, 1872 in Wytheville, Virginia. Her parents were William Holcomb Bowling and mom was Sarah Spears White. She grew up very well off. Her dad as a circuit court judge. Her childhood was a good one. She was the 7th out of 11th kids, but many said she was very stubborn and independent for a girl in her, and I quote, times. Some would say she didn't stick to society's format of a woman. Matter of fact, she was the first person to get a driver's license in Virginia, although they said she was a reckless driver. She got this when she was married to a man named Norman Gallo.
Now, Norman Gallo and Edith met when she was visiting D.C. He was a businessman, and they had dated for 4 years till they got married on April 30th of 1896. He was a prominent jeweler. During the marriage, they had no kids. They spent most of their time traveling until 5 years later, he suddenly died. But that wasn't the end for Edith, because even after this tragic event, he ended up leaving with $125,000 and his jewelry shop. The only thing that people ashamed her, even though she had this wealth, because it was considered new money.
After this, one day Edith had been with a friend when she invited her to go meet her cousin as a sort of a blind date. He turned out to be the president. This was Woodrow Wilson. Quick background info. He was the 28th president of the United States, born on the 28th of December in 1856. He was the son of a minister. He had graduated from Princeton University. He had also been married to a woman named Ellen Axon. They had 3 daughters together, but on August 6, 1914, she had died of Bright's disease.
Now, some people would say that he had mommy issues, and if he didn't have a woman by his side, having love, attention, and validation, he would not be okay. So when he met Edith, it was love at first sight. He grew in love and obsessed even, to a point that he had even proposed to her multiple times via letters. She declined every time. The obsession was so weird that he started neglecting his duties, but they did in a way grew close. He eventually started asking her for advice on how to run the country. She even started sending and receiving confidential government documents. She thought it was weird, but kept doing it.
Like we said, Edith was a very open and different woman. She would be honest to him, and he liked that. And on September 1915, he proposed, and this time she said yes. Everyone was happy. The whole country loved her. But the ones who were against it was his close circle. They thought she was, and I quote, too open. They even tried blackmailing him with telling her about some letters found between him and another woman. But they didn't care. How could she? She was marrying the president. And on December of 1915, they got married. Of course, she kept helping him with speeches, and she would even be included in important meetings. And when his first term was over, they got reelected. And in that timeline, World War I had started, and the president was against it. Well, he wasn't really against it, but he was against violence. So he went around the country to promote world peace, and in one of his speeches, he collapsed. This caused him to go paralyzed on the left side of his body, and he couldn't even speak for more than a few minutes.
While in recovery, he had not told anyone about this condition. Edith would not allow visitors, and she hid everything from the press. She even had the doctors stating that he was just recovering, so the vice president wouldn't step in. Of course, the vice president got suspicious because everything he had to speak with Woodrow was through Edith. So he demanded to see him in person, and he did. But to him, everything was fine, so of course Edith kept everything going just like it was.
Because Edith was helping the president and the vice president, she was the one really in charge. Towards the end of the term, Woodrow wanted to run for a 3rd term, which was illegal, obviously. He was, of course, upset by this, and 2 years later, he had passed away. After his death, Edith never remarried or ran for office, but she did stay in party politics and kept defending her deceased husband's legacy.
That is it.
That was the legacy of Edith Wilson, the first woman to run this country.